You love it, we love it. The Premier League action is coming thick and fast at this time of year, and we've got a weekend programme of Premier League games hard on the heels of the midweek action. So without further ado, let's dive straight into the 10 WhatAcca.com predictions for the games that take place between Saturday and Monday, starting at the London Stadium. Yes, we've got a London derby between West Ham and Chelsea. We're keen to get ahead against Chelsea in this game. They had a pretty even tussle at Vicarage Road on Wednesday night and were, in Thomas Tuchel's words, fortunate to come away with a victory. We think that in terms of shots on target against Watford, Chelsea were actually outdone there. The Hornets had 6 to their 4. It was a 50-50 possession, and there are injury problems for Thomas Tuchel to deal with. Namely, Ben Chilwell's missing, Reece James is unlikely to appear in this game, and Romelu Lukaku is also just coming off the bench at the moment. We think West Ham plus half a goal here looks like a decent bet. Although they had sort of fairly low possession against Brighton in their game, they had twice the number of shots on target to the Seagulls. They only conceded a late equaliser, and they could well have been 2-0 up, but there was a VAR decision against them. So West Ham plus half a goal for the Saturday lunchtime game. Moving on to the match at St James's Park between Newcastle United and Burnley. We're going to go for the draw in this game. Now, some people are saying the Magpies are due a win. I'm not quite sure what that means, really. You either achieve a win or you don't. The fact that they have a 0% win rate in the Premier League this season means that it's really difficult to have any sort of confidence that they're going to win a game against a team who are now 4 games unbeaten after holding Wolves to a goalless draw. It was more like the vintage Sean Dyche Burnley who were able to sort of really nullify the Wanderers and take a point from that match. They've drawn 4 of their 7 games away from home this season, and we just think the draw offers way better value than backing the home team. Southampton take on Brighton. We're going to go for another draw in this game. It's hard to be confident about either team winning the match. And in fact, the Seagulls have drawn 8 of their last 10 matches. So Graham's Potter's team really do end up with a point from a lot of their recent matches as well. They're not high scorers, but they don't concede many goals either. Similarly, Southampton have drawn 4 of their 7 matches at St Mary's, so therefore the draw is obviously the value bet. Moving on to the match at Molineux between Wolverhampton Wanderers and Liverpool. We're going to back Liverpool minus 1.5 on the Asian handicap. This was in our Wednesday night ACCA, which went very close to winning, and it won this selection in terms of Liverpool needing to win by 2 goals or more. They actually won by a 3-goal margin at Goodison Park. They've scored an incredible 43 goals in the Premier League this season and conceded just 12, while Wolves have only scored 5 goals in their 7 games at Molineux. They drew 0-0 with Burnley on Wednesday night. They didn't really have, they only had 2 shots on target, so we think Liverpool are more than capable of winning by a comfortable margin. Diogo Jota to return to haunt his former club, and obviously Mohamed Salah continuing to improve unbelievably, as it sounds. Watford take on Manchester City at Vicarage Road. A few weeks ago, we would have thought Manchester City would wipe the floor with the Hornets, but there's probably not as much between the teams now, and we think Watford plus 2 goals on the Asian handicap looks a decent bet. That means that we get money back if they lose by a 2-goal margin and only lose if City win by 3. Kevin De Bruyne and Phil Foden are unlikely to play in this game, or will certainly not be fit. City only won 2-1 away to Villa during the week. They weren't exactly hanging on towards the end of the game, but Villa did have opportunities and they weren't far away from finding an equaliser. So we think Claudio Ranieri is actually starting to sort of improve a Hornets side who are certainly have a goal or 2 in them, and like we mentioned, they had as many shots in fact they had more shots on target than Chelsea on Wednesday. So Watford plus 2 for this one. Leeds clash with Brentford. Leeds are quite a short price favourite for this game, and we're not sure why. They've only won 2 of their 7 games at Ellen Road this season. They needed a late penalty to overcome Crystal Palace on Tuesday night. Brentford, before their trip to Tottenham on Thursday night, had avoided defeat in 5 of their 6 away games this season. They beat Everton 1-0 the previous weekend, and we think Brentford plus half a goal here seems the logical play, which just requires Leeds not to win. Manchester United go up Crystal Palace. We obviously don't know what's going to happen in the Arsenal game on Thursday. Our tentative pick is the Red Devils to win and both teams to score no. Manchester United are going to be a different beast under Ralph Rangnick. They already started to look different under Michael Carrick for a couple of games, and certainly from a defensive point of view, they were a lot tighter than they'd been under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Crystal Palace are starting to struggle to find the net despite that 3-3 draw at Burnley. They scored a very late consolation against Villa before failing to land a punch on Leeds at Ellen Road. So we just think that rather than put United as the home win at too short on odds, we think United and keeping a clean sheet could be the way forward with this one. Tottenham clash with Norwich. Again, another Thursday night team, Tottenham, so we're not sure how they'll fare against Brentford. The initial prices, we think Norwich plus 1.5 goals on the Asian could be a good bet. The Canaries are unbeaten under Dean Smith after 3 games played. They're looking like a much better team under the former Villa manager than they were under Daniel Farke. Tottenham are only averaging 1 goal per home game at the moment. There's still an unknown quantity under Antonio Conte, and any kind of victory here would be welcome given the short turnaround time between the match against Brentford and the match against Norwich. Aston Villa go up against Leicester in the late Sunday kickoff, and we are expecting a relatively high scoring game in this one. We think both teams will score, but we also think Aston Villa will probably win the game. So we're going to go for the home team and both teams to score at quite a big price. Steven Gerrard has certainly had a big impact on the Aston Villa squad. They won their first 2 matches under his managership and ran Manchester City close during the week, which will offer massive encouragement ahead of this clash. Leicester City have scored 6 goals in the last 2 games, and Jamie Vardy and James Maddison are looking especially feisty going forward. But they do have a porous defence, which has seen them concede 13 goals in 7 away games and 25 goals altogether in total. Brendan Rodgers alluded to the continuous defensive mistakes which are plaguing them this season, and we think that he might come off worse against one of his former players when Leicester make the short trip to Birmingham on Sunday. Finally, Everton go up against Arsenal on the Monday night game. We don't think that it will be a particularly entertaining match from a goals point of view. Rafael Benitez pointed to the defensive mistakes in the Merseyside derby, which allowed Liverpool to sort of effectively run right in that game. We think this will be a tighter affair, and under 2.5 goals is our play for this one. Benitez will want to go back to basics and like he did against Tottenham a few weeks ago, where they ground out a goalless draw. He needs to stop the rock quickly. Arsenal are similarly quite a pragmatic team. They certainly are looking a lot stronger defensively with Ben White and Gabriel in front of Aaron Ramsdale. So we think under 2.5 goals is the play here. If Arsenal do win, they'll be happy with a 1 or 2-0 win. And Everton are so chronically short of goals at the moment that we can be confident that they won't create a huge amount nor offer a massive threat going forward. Those are the 10 Premier League predictions for this coming weekend. We hope that we've offered some insight into how some of the games might go. Make sure you visit WhatAcca.com and check out the latest accumulator tips. Like I say, on Wednesday night we were brutally close to landing a 25-1 Asian handicap ACCA, so we're knocking on the door as far as our tips are concerned, and we're confident that we'll continue to deliver some value to our readers and subscribers. All the best for now, guys.